This is my 2020 DIY Trampa mountain board. I don't really have a name for it yet, but I think I'm just going to call it the Spark. I have made some build videos about this, but I haven't had the chance to show you guys the whole package, so today I'm going to present the quirks and the features of my mountain board. So let's start with the body. This whole board was bought from Trampa board as a single mountain board without any of the electronics, and every pieces of those were added later on. The deck is a Tampa E-MTB deck with a flex rating of 16, and one of the features of the deck is that it have some weight-saving holes, but I've covered up most of those holes. These are covered with 3D printed inserts because I have an under-mounted battery, and I don't really want to have any debris or water going onto my battery, so those are covered up. And the front one is covered up by my Davia, so I will come back to that later on. On the deck, I have some really beautiful red and black Trampa Velcro bindings. As my deck is so flat, without them I wouldn't be able to carve or turn very well. They just help me balance my weight more effectively across the width of the board. For my trucks, I'm using Trampa Vertigo spring trucks with hollow axles and weight-saving holes. I have some red powder-coated springs with yellow dampers. For my weight, the dampers are just perfect for me to carve at low speed and be stable at high speed. My wheels are Trampa's 8-inch Primo Alpha tires with the red spokes and black rims. The threads on the tire make it really versatile for different conditions. They provide a nice amount of grip on all terrain and wet surfaces, and they feel amazing on dry roads. On the front of my board, I have a bull bar mounted on some 3D printed adapters. My trucks have mostly a square shape and the clips on the bar are circular, so I needed a weight for it to mount on. This provides me with a nice handle if ever I want to carry my board, and it also serves as a mount for my lights. Here I have two different types of lights. These two aggressive front lights are my night lights that I use during the night rides where maximum visibility is required. They are powered by an external 30,000 mAh power bank installed under my board. The other light would be a position light that I use all the time for other people to see me. This is also nicely mounted on a 3D printed support attached directly to my truck. On the front of my board, I also have a Davia X, which is a telemetry display that provides me with some really useful information. On the main screen, it displays the remaining range, the average cell voltage, my trip meter, my ESC temperature, and my consumption. There are also other tabs with even more data if you want to gather more information about the board. Of course, when you start riding, the front display will change to a real-time speedometer. This is quite nice to have if you don't have any display on your remote. On the middle of the board, as I don't have any top mounted battery, I added some funny stickers that people gave me alongside the Trampa logo. Now let's go on the back of the board. I use a belt drive transmission system with a really well designed motor mount. The mount is designed and made by one of the forum members whose name is IdeaTB, and I'm pretty sure he CNC'd this himself. I really like the design of a protective cage around the motors, as you don't have to worry too much about damaging them in case someone hits you from the back, and it also serves as a handle whenever I need to grab the board. For my motors, I'm using two Flipsky 6374 premium motors that have some magnet improvement over their past 6374 that I used to have. These definitely feel smoother to ride on. Another thing to mention is their amazing color in silver and gold, as they match perfectly with my raw colored motor mounts. I was too lazy to paint them black anyway. For my pulleys, I'm using a 15-tooth motor pulley with a 70-tooth wheel pulley with a belt tensioner. It has a gearing ratio of 4 to 8 to 1, which provides me with a nice amount of torque. For my braking light, I have one that is mounted the same way as my front position light with a 3D printed support, although I think that it might sometimes be hidden by the motor cage. Now let's go underneath the board to the battery compartment. I am using a Cali NYC battery enclosure that is mounted over 26 screws. You definitely don't want to open and close this too often, but it does secure every compartment pretty well. As you can see, this is my power bank that is powering my front lights. This is mounted using some metal strips held by 2 screws in my deck and 2 screws from the truck. My battery is arranged in a 12S4P configuration with Sanyo 2700 cells. The capacity of this pack is 734 Wh with a discharge rate of 60 amps. I am sacrificing a bit of power for more range, but the performance of this board is still pretty good with a top speed of around 60 km per hour and a range of 40 km, which is enough for me to get around the city. A smart discharge BMS is used with this battery, allowing me to have multiple battery data on my phone. I could easily detect any failure or have my battery temperature checked. Next to my BMS are my 2 fog boxes, connected together using a CAN bus. They have been quite reliable at the moment, and this is just one spare just in case one dies. The cable management is nicely made with a 3D printed part, and my motor and sensor cables themselves are protected using braided wires and heat shrink. If you are still watching, thank you for sticking to the end of this video. As most of us are in quarantine right now and we're not allowed to go out and ride, I thought that this might be something fun to do. If you have a lot of board and you would like to show them to us, or if you have a really cool DIY project that you would like to present, you could maybe record something and post it on the internet or send it to me. And until then, thank you for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.